Hola amigos, Hannah from Speak Better Spanish here. Today we're going to be talking about direct versus indirect object pronouns. So that looks like lo, la, los, las, le, and les. Let's dive into it. So direct object pronouns are used to replace direct objects like who or what. The pronoun choices are me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, and las. Example, the sentence veo la película becomes la veo. So instead of saying I see the movie, it becomes I see it. So la takes the place of la película, which la is a direct object pronoun, and la película is our direct object, which is being replaced. The reason we might want to use a direct object pronoun is instead of saying I see the movie is interesting, the movie is about this, the movie is that, we can just say it, referring back to the movie. Another example, compro el libro becomes lo compro. So I buy the book becomes I buy it, where lo is the word for it, the direct object pronoun, replacing el libro, the direct object. If this is still confusing, don't worry. This is a very common question. I've written an entire blog post about it, which you can find in the description below. So check it out. A challenge for you, replace the object in this sentence. Tengo la llave. How would we make that using a direct object pronoun? And remember, when we have a conjugated verb, our direct object pronoun comes before the conjugated verb in the examples, how we saw la veo, lo compro, and so on. So keep that in mind. You can comment below with your answer to tengo la llave with a direct object pronoun. All right, now we're going to talk about indirect object pronouns. Now remember, guys, this is just a high-level overview. You can get a more in-depth explanation in the blog post in the description. But indirect object pronouns are used for replacing recipients. So they tell us to whom or for whom. And our indirect object pronoun choices are me, te, le, nos, os, and les. Example, doy el regalo a María becomes le doy el regalo. So I give the gift to Maria becomes I give the gift to her. So here we are changing to her instead of a María. We are now replacing it with le. Another example, explico la lección a los estudiantes becomes les explico la lección. So instead of I explain the class to the students, which is a correct sentence, it's a very legitimate sentence, we want to make it shorter for to make it more concise or to continue talking about that same to whom. So it becomes les explico la lección. So les is the direct object, is the indirect object pronoun, which means to the students in this case, taking the place of a los estudiantes. And just like with our direct object pronouns, that indirect object pronoun comes before the conjugated verb. Sometimes we might, in error, forget to put in le or les when the recipient is mentioned. It is possible to do what's called a redundant use of the double object pronoun, which means we could even make the sentence les explico la lección a los estudiantes if we wanted to clarify who that les is, because les can refer to a lot of people. So without context from a former sentence, from the conversation, we're not going to know who that les is. So it is perfectly okay to say les explico la lección a los estudiantes, or explico la lección a los estudiantes, depending on the context, how concise we want to be, and so forth. Now, a challenge for you, reword this sentence with an indirect object pronoun. Mando un mensaje a mi amigo. So we're going to replace a mi amigo with some word. We're going to put it before mando, and then that's going to be our new sentence. You can drop it in the comment section below, and I'll comment back to give you any corrections or feedback necessary. So now you should have at least a general understanding of when to use direct and indirect object pronouns. Of course, this is something that takes practice, so don't give up. If it feels confusing, if it feels overwhelming, keep practicing. You'll get there. Like and subscribe for more Spanish lessons, and I'll see you in the next video.